Hey guys, Caleb Quick here, out on a little walk because I'm a bit frustrated. So I woke up this morning and had a post removed from Facebook, and I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant about Facebook's community standards and how they're not really applied evenly and they're kind of arbitrary, and we don't know anything about them. Anyway, the post that I had removed was one about a dogfighting ring in Seattle, and mind you, this was 3 years ago. A dogfighting ring in Seattle, and how they couldn't find homes for all of the dogs that they had rescued from this dogfighting ring. Now, my comment on the post that I shared on Facebook went something along the lines of, and I'll put up a picture of it there, with something along the lines of, if these people want to fight so bad, they should just man up and get weapons and fight each other to the death, as I believe is allowed by Washington state law. I think we allow fights to the death here. Not 100% on that. Consult your lawyer. Anyway, so yeah, I got a message that that post goes against the Facebook community standards, even though it's been up for 3 years. And that's just kind of annoying and ridiculous how the standards are applied retroactively, seemingly randomly. Like, that post had been up. I know that's happened to other people where their posts have been up and, oh, suddenly you're banned for a couple months for this thing you said 5 years ago. And that's just wild and ridiculous. And the same thing happens on other platforms, like the gun community, the one I know about on YouTube. They have similar problems because a lot of firearms content is just kind of arbitrarily said to the, oh, it's against the community standards. We're going to have to take that down or demonetize it. Fuck you. All that other stuff. Anyway, so on a small rant about platforms and that type of thing, I do know, and this kind of gets into a little bit of the free speech thing, which I do know that the free speech here in the United States is more of a Congress shall make no law abridging the right to freedom of speech, that type of thing. But please recall, back in those days, the only organization big enough to really curtail speech or hinder the expression and sharing of ideas was the government. And what is really the difference between the government and a megacorporation? The one you pay taxes to, the other you just pay fees to. I mean, what's the difference? They're huge, they have so much power, and especially nowadays, because back in the day, a lot of your public discourse, a lot of discussion of politics and ideas and all the other stuff that's supposed to be protected by your freedom of expression and, freedom of speech, that type of thing, happened there. And now, for the last 25 years or so, a huge majority of this discourse is taking place on places that are completely policed, or just completely under the dominion of these mega corporations. And they have so much power and so much authority to just alter, censor, change. And you can actually see that on places like TikTok, where people, language itself is evolving to get past the censorship there. Like, you don't say gun, you say pew pew. You don't say kill, you say unalive. And it's a silly arms race. Reminds me of evolution, the Red Queen hypothesis. Everybody's evolving together so nobody makes any progress. Something like that. Look it up. Anyway, so I think these mega corporations should, if not be subject to the same free speech standards as the federal government and state governments here in the United States, at least have some sort of transparency so that you know what you're actually being subject to. You know the content that you provided, that you contributed to this thing, which they still have some protections for. They're not fully liable for the stuff you publish on their platforms. They should at least tell you or have some sort of metric or standard, or at least transparency. I can't even appeal my post that was taken off earlier about the dogfighting ring. I can't appeal that anymore at all, or seemingly get it sent to an actual human being and explain, hey, this was totally hyperbole. I don't want those people to kill themselves at all. Really? Yeah. Can't talk to a person about it at all. And there's just no transparency, which again gets back to the whole government thing. You have a right to a redress of grievances for your government, but what about all the other things and huge organizations that control the other aspects of your life? They're massive groups that we have no say in the leadership of, but that control huge aspects of our life and huge aspects of the discourse that we have between ourselves. They can, at a moment's notice, secretly, they've done it before, just censor or downvote and downplay things. And obviously the financial incentive of that is huge, and there needs to be some sort of check or transparency in there that lets us, I don't know what standard we're being subject to. And I think that would be better, to know what I'm fucking doing wrong, or right, even. I'm Kale the Quick. Thanks for listening to my rant. the purple guy, yeah, don't die. Unless you're in the dogfighting ring. Kill yourself.